From time to time, topics pop up that we have plans for a full redirect episode, but that our audience also deserves a quicker heads up, so to speak. With that in mind, we're introducing a Cliff's Notes version of these topics to be followed by a redirect episode. We're calling these BTW with BlackTruck Media and Marketing, as in, oh, by the way. We promise to be a brief pit stop in your day, just about 10 minutes, and then we'll be gone so that you can move forward with quick takes and confidence in the digital space. We'll be back later to deliver all the details you crave from our team.
Welcome to BTW with BTM. I'm Jason Dodge, founder and CEO of BlackTruck Media and Marketing. On this episode, we're going to dive into all things AI, from OpenAI's ChatGPT to Google's recent announcement of Bard, and the impact that AI has on SEO. Going to try and keep it brief, to the point, tell you what you need to know, and the impact that this could have on your search relevancy. So background and insights on AI for SEO. Let's start with a bit of background. We've known for a while that machine learning has influenced the growth and development of many new search features that you see recently, especially on Google.com today. For simple reasons is that humans, we're not scalable. The only way to scale human-centric answers and involvement and interaction is by way of machine learning and AI with teaching. So while AI has been present and actively powering many SaaS products out there used by digital marketers, especially those in the content generation space, only until recently with the public prototype release of ChatGPT from OpenAI has it really taken off. Recently, Google went public with their introduction of Bard, which is the next generation of AI from Google. So let's break those two down briefly, if you will, to understand what is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a chatbot that was launched by OpenAI in November of this past year of 2022. So for those of you not familiar, OpenAI is best known by those in the tech community as being credited with creating DALL-E 2, which leverages AI to create that's what created those ultra realistic images based on natural language inputs. A lot of times those were probably filtering through your popular social media channels, Facebook, Instagram. Along with OpenAI is also credited with Whisper AI, which is an automatic speech recognition or ASR system that can be used in multilingual applications. So think translations at scale across those types of applications. ChatGPT itself has really taken off, and for those of you who have access to it and have been able to experience it, you can probably agree it has potential to be a very powerful tool if used appropriately. And I do want to preface it with that, if used appropriately. So what about Google and Bard? What is Google Bard? For the past 6 years, Google has been working to align the company around AI. As mentioned previously, there has been a major impact to search as a direct result of their move into AI and machine learning, right? Two separate things. The move into AI has really shifted search to be far more conversational than ever before. I've been known to say that Google is less of a search engine today or in the last 10 years then it's more of an answer engine, right? That's what we've kind of come to know Google for, right? If we have a problem, seek a solution, we can go to Google. If we need an answer, we can go to Google. And we have an immense amount of trust in that. So those moves have really continued to shift. The introduction of Lambda by Google, or language model for dialogue applications, they introduced that 2 years ago. And that's really helped advance a lot of this. And you'll witness that mostly if you're a Pixel user and you have Google Assistant. Google states that Bard seeks to combine the breadth and the world's knowledge with the power, intelligence, and creativity of our large language models. That's a really fancy way to say they're going to take their database of organizing the world's information, which is their original mission, and mash it together with AI technologies to provide the best answers and best possible outcome, which ultimately Google's goals are to, first and foremost, organize the world's information. Secondly, to provide you, the user, with the best possible answer. So it's going to be really interesting to see when the full advancements of Bard come out and more information is released this week about that. So let's answer the question of how is AI being leveraged for SEO? Well, right now, the most common use of AI, like ChatGPT, we'll pick on ChatGPT for this, is for content generation. Understanding the conversational logic and leveraging ChatGPT to develop content, topic clusters, accelerate research at scale and speeds that might have otherwise taken days. Many times, though, AI is used for content creators that get stuck. Maybe you have a little bit of writer's block. You need help with different approaches to this work or different applications, a different way of thinking. Or at least that's how it should be leveraged for SEO, right? I'm not saying that that's how it's being leveraged all the time. So that goes into the next question of, can AI generated content be good for SEO? And like most things in the search space, we can't have nice things for too long, right? SEO is a constant game of what I call cat and mouse, and ChatGPT and other AI-driven tools, really kind of appear to provide us as marketers with a leg up. When in reality, OpenAI and their ChatGPT are only referencing the sources and the content that currently exists on the internet. So think about that for a moment. That old adage of crap in, crap out could really be exploited with something like ChatGPT. The output from an AI technology like ChatGPT is only going to be as good, at least initially, as the content that it can reference, right? So when posing a question to ChatGPT, asking it to outline, say in detail or at depth, a task or information related to your next travel destination, it relies heavily on the information that's out there. So the same information that Google has been working kind of tirelessly, let's say, whether good or bad, to combat over the last few years, it's that information that ChatGPT is referencing. So this is very apparent with Google's most recent quality content updates, which aim to knock down those sites and content that was developed for the sole purpose of ranking. Next question. Will Google penalize me for using AI-generated content, right? So we talk about, can I use it? Will they penalize me for using AI-generated content? And I think that the short answer is it depends, which is a classic answer from anybody in the SEO space. But the long answer is yes. And ultimately, take this as a cautionary tale, that just because something like ChatGPT or any other AI-derived tool is easy to use and it produces what seemingly appears to be great results, you still need to proceed with caution. So I'll reference in a recent tweet, and this is referenced in our show notes with a screenshot. It's really damning information. From Mark Williams Cook, another really bright SEO in the space. He provided a detailed outline of the rise and fall of a site that had over 10,000 pages, all generated by AI. And what you'll see is classic SEO tactics that are probably as old as time for this industry, right? So leverage a tool that produces what appears to be a substantial amount of really great content, high quality content that comes off as an authority figure, to then be penalized by the search engines in another round of algorithm updates and course corrections. Dun, dun, dun. So if this strategy is something you're investing in heavily right now, again, the word is proceed with caution. And know that while you might be riding high on the waves right now, knocking out a bunch of seemingly fantastic content, that over time, this could all come crashing down. So I'm not saying that AI generated content is bad. I'm not gonna die on that hill. I'm just saying proceed with caution. You ride the wave if you want. But ultimately, the other side of this is going to catch up, and the course corrections will catch up. So let's kind of conclude and talk about how you should leverage AI, like ChatGPT, Bard, for SEO. Without a doubt, smart practitioners should be embracing AI technology like ChatGPT. As stated before, while I wouldn't encourage using ChatGPT to use its responses verbatim, meaning copy and pasting and producing blog posts and resources and things of that nature, especially for your core web content, especially if your hope is to have it rank long-term and produce results, it's really best to utilize these things for what they are at their core, and it's a tool. ChatGPT is a conversational tool, and it can be used by marketers to flesh out ideas, get over writer's block, like I was saying before, help you with different thought starters and overall different ways of thinking that you might not be doing now. But keep in mind that despite its guardrails, tools like ChatGPT tend to be biased. They tend to be biased with gender and racial stereotypes. In addition to not always being accurate about many either technical subject matters or even some basic subject matters on that fact. So all that said, we shouldn't be afraid of it as content creators and optimizers. No, AI isn't taking your job. At the end of the day, we should embrace the technology for what it is and add it to your toolkit if you can. Just keep in mind, smart marketers still need to know their audiences. You still need to have an understanding of the product or service that you're involved with at what I like to say is an intimate level, right? You need to be able to audit what gets churned out of the machine. You ultimately are going to become the fact checker on this. So these changes are going to continue. It's what keeps us here at BlackTruck on our toes. The advancements in AI are going to be really interesting as we kind of go head first into this next generation of AI and what's going to seemingly be the next generation of search. There's going to be a lot of content that's produced out there. There's going to be a lot of talks on the subject matter, a lot of fascinating ways that it's being used, and also a lot of not so great ways that it's being used. So all that said, if you're using it, proceed with caution. Make sure you still understand your audiences. Make sure you're still producing content from an authority subject matter expert. And until next time, good luck.